Good morning. It's Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, you have various ways to be listening and watching the program. And started out 35 years ago on a talk show, the Bobby Dupre Show. And that was on KSLO, 1230 a.m. on your dial. And of course, now you still listen to it on 1230 a.m. And the sister company, which broadens our listening area quite a bit, and that's 105.3 out of Simmsport, Louisiana, all part of the media, Delta Media. I'll get it out in a minute. Delta Media out of Karen Crow, Louisiana. And we want to thank them for continuing to carry the Bobby Dupre Show. And of course, many of you are watching it on Charter Cable, Cox Cable, Southern Link, Allen Cable, and then many of you are watching it on the internet. So, I mean, we have a lot of different ways. No reason why you don't.
That's how you get to be the #1 show in Acadiana.
In Acadiana. That's right. We getting to be on everything. That's all. The only thing we, and maybe one day, who knows.
Working on those dishes.
Yep. Direct TV would really put a little icing on the cake. But, you know, people get around that, especially as soon as they find out they can listen to it while on the computer while they're working in the house and all, and they can sit down and view it when they hear their friend's name or something mentioned. The internet has really come on strong. Streaming on the internet, I might add.
And archive, both.
And archive, that's right. And we have a lot of good things to talk to you about, so let's get all of that publicity material out on the Bobby Dupre Show. My sidekick here, Andrew Guitros.
Well, good morning.
And we have a lot of pictures to show, but let's get a couple of our sponsors to make sure that we have somebody paying for this airtime.
How about Piggly Wiggly? We'll start right out the gate with locations throughout South Louisiana. 2 right here in Opelousas, and 1 in Church Point, Rains, Scott, Cecilia, and St. Martinville. And don't forget about the one in the Simmsport area as well.
Which is owned by Dale's Piggly Wiggly.
That's right. And
Mr. Kevin Doucette and family.
Right now, they've got split chicken breasts at $1 a pound. They've got the combo pack with chicken, 6 legs, 6 thighs, and 6 wings for $1 a pound. You know, a lot of you are going out and having those barbecues before the Friday night football, the Saturday and the Sunday football. You have football all weekend right now. So good barbecue type stuff. Pork steaks there as well. Go by your local Piggly Wiggly. The pig knows best.
That's correct. And let's go one more.
How about if we go with, how about Joey Doucette? We can talk about our good friends over at Dixie Storage with locations throughout St. Andrew Parish for commercial storage, personal storage. They've got climate controlled units. They've got nice concrete so your feet don't have to get dirty, high security so you don't have to worry about people breaking in, taking your stuff. You know, well-built metal buildings. You know, I've been inside of all the different places. They'll do inventory control if you're a bigger company, if you need huge warehouses with.
And let's say you're loading up a truck and you're kind of afraid that maybe your load is overloaded or not properly balanced on the trailer. They have a certified scale.
At the Port Barre location, you can go by and get that done too. With, you know, plenty of commercial buildings available, including 2 restaurants in Port Barre, both available right now with fully stocked kitchens. If you want to go by, give a holler. Don't forget their sister company, A+ Glass, with locations in Lafayette and Opelousas to get all your glass needs from personal and commercial to your car windows done to your inspection stickers, from the smallest car all the way up to the biggest 18-wheeler.
On the death side, something that I received just prior to taping. We tape on Wednesdays, and just prior to going on the air, got a call from Mike and Cherie Doucette Hunter, one of Charles Doucette's children. Well, Charles Doucette sometimes doesn't ring a bell in and around the Opelousas, Washington, Grand Prairie, Plaisance area. But if you say Choo-Choo Doucette, then they all know that that's the former welding instructor at T.H. Harris Trade School. He was 88 years old. He died around 4 a.m. today, Wednesday, and that would be, what, September the 21st. And I'm glad to have talked to Cherie and her husband, Mike, who passed this information on to me real early. And I might add that I have a little story, and I've told it before, but it's a good time to tell it now. I took up welding probably like in my 11th grade, maybe 12, but I think it was the 11th grade, and probably wasn't too interested in, but it was a half a day of class. Right. And one of my classmates that I remember vividly was Gene Boudier, of course, who passed away a couple of years ago. But Gene and I, when we'd get there, invariably, Choo-Choo Doucette, our instructor, would say, Bobby, you don't think maybe Mr. Cornelius has a little errand that you and Gene could run? I said, well, you know, we're going to be missing our class. He said, don't worry, y'all won't be disturbing me this way. He was saying we were disturbing him instead of trying to learn the welding course. And you know what? He was correct. He spotted us early on. And he says, don't worry, your grade will be okay. You won't fail or nothing like that. And of course, when he said Mr. Cornelius, we were all raised like relatives, really, because his wife, first wife, Wayne and the group, Danny and Tina and Sherry's mama, she was a Paradigm, and my aunt, mama's sister, had married Hubert Paradigm. Mm-hmm. So back in the country like that, I mean, that's just like blood kin. We're not blood kin, but we call each other cousin, always have. And so anyhow, a little story. He was very active. He was in the Seabees. That's in the Navy. That was the construction arm of the Navy. And he was involved in many of the invasions of the Second World War. At 88, that's a perfect age. That was the time. Like John is 87 and Cody's 84. They all served in the Second World War. And Choo-Choo was just, his children say he used to like to tell them about the experiences of the Second World War, which is a little different. A lot of the military people, they really hesitate on talking about it. Right. But they did. And so my sympathies to the Charles Ray Choo-Choo Doucette family.
Well, while we're talking about one of the deaths, we had another friend of ours passed away. Miss Verdine Swallow Mesh passed away this past week. Of course, she's preceded in death by her husband, Mr. Emil Mesh, and you and I are familiar with the family because Brett Mesh does a lot of computer work for us and for the Homestead, John S. Dowling. And of course, his wife is a counselor over at Opelousas Catholic with all those kids over there. So a lot of people know the Mesh family. Our deepest sympathies.
Yeah, I called you to see if that was her.
The same crew, right? Yeah. And our deepest sympathies with them. And one of the other people, Brett's sister, Miss Sheila Cormier. Of course, Sheila's daughter is our good friend, Jamie, who's having a little fundraiser this weekend as well.
A big fundraiser.
Over at Willie's over in Washington. If you get a chance to go this Saturday in Washington, and I've rescheduled all my stuff to make sure I can get there. This Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., there's going to be a bunch of cook-offs, raffle for a golf cart, and the cook-off's all about wild game. If you want to bring some wild game and cook wild game, you can do it. Maybe you want to just bring some wild game to help donate into the project. Be live music featuring the band One Trick Pony. Our own Matt LeBlanc from KDCG will be involved. DJ Ron Keder is going to be there, silent and live auction, hamburgers, jambalaya, gifts, fun jumps, and Willis, of course, will be selling some cool libations too if you want to go. So go by. It's going to be a great, great weekend. Tell Jamie that you heard about it on here. So.
Another death that I hadn't heard of, in the media, newspaper, television, anything like that, but I feel very confident that I can mention it. Malcolm, better known as Poochie Polanski. And Poochie was around my age, between 72 and 74, and a graduate of Opelousas High. I tell the story of joining the country club in March of 1962. And they said, really, you were going to play golf? I said, yes, and my instructor was going to be Poochie Polanski.
Who was a very good golfer.
Very good golfer in his day, you bet. And he's had some medical problems for quite a number of years. It was a private matter. They donated, he had donated his body to science. And this is verified by his son, Blake. Blake and Matt here.
Good friends.
And Matt told me about it. He said, you haven't mentioned that. I said, well, I just heard it mentioned and then I didn't write it down, but I wrote it down now. And anyhow, my deepest sympathies to the Malcolm Pucci Polanski and his wife Connie.
How about the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza over at I-49 North on exit 23? It's a Chevron. It's locally owned. Go by to the remodeled casino and bar. They've got 50 video poker machines from your old favorites to these newest high payout type models, $1,000 payouts there. They do drawings almost every single day of the week with $200, $100 given away. And inside the convenience store there, they got a Subway. They've got a deli with crispy, crunchy chicken. They've got the restaurant there, El Pico de Gallo, authentic Mexican food with 2-for-1 margaritas every day from 3 to 9. Go by, open 24 hours a day. Mr. Pat Willis.
I called you earlier this week to go have lunch, and you were tied up with some computer situations. We never call them problems anymore. It's
opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities. To get back online.
That's right. That's correct. And how about Dr. Kerry Thibodeau? If you want to go by to see your general surgeon, board certified general surgeon, Dr. Kerry Thibodeau over at Opposite General Health System can help you out. Everything from appendectomies to breast biopsies, gallbladder, colonoscopies, and more. You know, when you go see your general practitioner, you have a choice of who your surgeon is. Ask for Dr. Kerry Thibodeau.
He assisted in Kelly's back surgery.
That
he
is
did a
correct.
portion, I guess, roughly half of the back surgery, along with Dr. Ray Williams here at Opelousas General Hospital.
And flies all over the
local hospital.
Flies all over the country to train people all over the world. So, I mean, he's good.
And of course, we've been talking about this for almost 100 years now. We're talking about the birthday of the town of Port Barre. Turns 100 years old on
this Saturday,
September 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Veterans Memorial Park, which is right to the rear of the town hall. Real nice park they have there.
Should be a
Music,
wonderful
food,
party.
soft drinks, fun for the kids. And this is a family event, so no alcohol will be allowed. Well, that's good. During those hours right there, we can do without.
They go have a beer that evening.
Come out and help us celebrate our birthday. Happy birthday to the town of Port Barre and my long time, two partners actually. Tatsi Carey was from Port Barre, Joe Fred is from Port Barre, and many of the employees over the years.
From Port Barre. I was raised over there too.
That's right.
Born in Palmetto, raised in Port Barre.
Raised in Port Barre. So we have a long term with a strong connection, I guess you could say, with the community of Port Barre. And so I wish I would be in town, but I have to leave that morning to go someplace.
KSLO, we'll see you on the other side of 3.
Another person who passed away, I didn't know her, but I recognized some of her children. I'm speaking about Miss Eldine Elizabeth Richard Cridaire. And I'm talking her son is Horace Jagno and his wife Mary of Opelousas, and then the daughters Agnes Sanamore Broussard and Lois Vigier and husband Stanley Vigier of Lafayette. Of course, Stanley is from Opelousas right here, and he owns a big, large manufacturing company in Lafayette. Has done extremely well. And when you going north on I-49 into Washington, just before you take that exit, if you look up to your left, you're going to see Ranch V, the VJ Ranch there. Anyhow, and then she had married Mr. I'll get it out in a minute, Mr. Percy Cridaire. She had married him as her second husband. So our deepest sympathies to their family, Miss Verlee Thompson Simmons, and of course she was what, 79, not that old really today, and one of her. She is survived by her husband of almost 60 years, Reuben Simmons Sr. And of course, we know Reuben Jr. Reuben was a very close friend of our dear friend Ray Hebert, who passed away a few years ago. He and Ray played tennis together. Right. Very, very good. In fact, Reuben has taught tennis possibly at OHS at one time and at South City Park. He very nice. And of course, his wife, of course, is Anna Simmons, who was one of our mayors correct. a couple of terms back.
Anna Wise.
Anna Wise.
Some people still call Anna Wise.
That's correct. And all the rest of the family, our very deepest of sympathies.
How about this weekend? If you go to the Music and Market Series, this Friday night at the St. Leonard Parish Courthouse Square is where it's going to be. You'll get to hear The Hurricane. Speaking of Dr. Kerry Thibodeau, who's one of the singers and guitarists.